mentioned last night as far as the port of entry. Well, part of that was they needed a reliable lighthouse. One of the first was started on an island in the inlet. Wasn't stable enough. Alexander Hamilton happened to get involved with the shipwreck off the Diamond Shoals, thought it was treacherous, and said, we've got to have better protection for our coasts. And so, the modern-day lighthouse service sprung from that, and the Coast Guard and other things. So this was actually a manned lighthouse with some keeper's quarters, and somebody would have to go up the old steps, the wooden steps, you see it along the side, all the way to the top. It basically maintained a light, a foil oil light. But the key was in the fancy, rather pronounced lens that allowed that magnification. Even today, the bulb is about as big as your little finger. That's all it is. It's all about the reflection through those lenses. So the pattern of change in our country, the reason that we don't reoccupy the former Coast Guard building, is the same reason that the National Park Service occupies and owns this structure. Change in mission of the Coast Guard with less personnel than the New York City Police Department. Their resources, it wasn't a high priority to pump Coast Guard money into the restoration of the lighthouse. They just antiquated. Yes, maybe use a little bit of navigation, but if you're on a big old container ship 20 miles offshore, you're not looking for the lighthouse. You're all programmed in, the ship can drive itself. And so this is a cultural sort of icon. And so as such, it fell into the National Park Service hands in 1999. And they restored it. You can see some of the restoration work that's going on about 25, 30 feet. They had more to do. Painted on the outside, some of the upper works maintained. But this is not open to the public because this is one of those old lighthouses that is basically hatch, just a hatch. You got to kind of crawl through and then through another side hatch, unlike the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. And if you haven't been to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, put that on your list. As North Carolinians, you need to do a couple of things. Number one, go to the state fair. And you go get your fill of it one day, and buy all the junk, eat it, and get straight and gone. Second, you got to go to the Biltmore State. They're amazing. Third, not in this order. Those persons, they climb the lighthouse first, but climb that Cape Hatteras Lighthouse and be amazed at how it was moved recently. Amazing. So when we stand here and we think about what this meant through history, change in history, it means today, we're able to talk about its history. It meant something different in the 1800s, quite a bit. And the people that sort of grew up with it, it was just a familiar light. And you miss it when it's out for whatever reason. And that little generator there. But old lighthouses are a thing of the past, and they're being sold, some of them. Nonprofits take it, but rarely, other than a national park landmark like this, with Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, Body Island, or Cape McCut, are they maintained anymore? So it's interesting. If you love lighthouses in North Carolina, that's some of the most interesting. Any questions?
What is this container for?
It's supposed to represent a container for whale oil. It's an oil container, a replica.
What's the significance of the different colors of all the different lighthouses?
It's just a basic different marking for visual purposes. They're all painted white, you get confused, like, is that Ocracoke? So it's just Ocracoke is solid white, the stripes. They can argue about, it should have been a diamond shoals, I don't think that's quite right. They just mark them. And the significance is the different markings, like the different light patterns, like the different heights.
Now, all of them are in operation except for Bodie Island, is that right?
That's been put back in operation. I think it's close to being where you can go up it now.
Okay.
The light is still out. because we stopped there.
Was it? Okay. Yeah, it's in the process. They've done renovations over the last year.
Out of all of them, which are open to the public to climb up and which
All of
are,
the Cape Hatteras one, Cape Lookout occasionally, like, this Limited and Kerala.
okay, are not those two?
They are.
They are, everything else is not, okay.
Because all have gone home and old.
That's the very oldest, isn't it?
You have any lighthouses this meeting? Any on the lake?
Maybe out by here, but nothing around here.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, here, guys. Like, there's nothing famous.
Is that first trip here?
No, I've been there. It's probably my cousin trip, so I find the Cape Hatteras one before.
Okay.
Before it was moved, right? After it was.
Anybody else?
How often did they have to, I mean, obviously they got the oil down here and climb the stairs, and how long would it last? Do you know?
I know, I mean, every burn out a couple times a day, you know, at night, maybe early in the morning. I mean, late in the, early in the evening, early in the morning.
What did they use to keep it with? Kerosene or oil?
Oil, just different kinds of oil, whale oil, and then, you know, regular oil. Anybody else? Well, get out there and get your photos. And, the National Park Ranger is my brother Kenny, who's going to be with us tomorrow. I think you have to figure that out. Yeah, okay.
I'm just
Thank you about
Oh, it feels good out here. Now, why is this one not open to the public to
Well,
climb?
our scuttle hole at the top is only about this big,
Oh, okay.
so it's not so that you could get a lot of people up there at one time.
So it's not
Just
practical.
the way it was built. It was built totally different.
So it's not all that practical to try to
Yeah,
have
if
people
you
climb.
get off a ways from it, you'll see that the top of it offsets. It's not
It's not centered.
centered.
Oh, that's a neat thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, no.
It's not functional. Oh, this is cute. I wanted to climb it. No, that's okay. You don't want to climb it.
Here in the evening, there are little baby